You see, I figured out why Donald Trump always says, I just need 2 more weeks to make a decision, 2 more weeks about what I'm going to do with Russia, 2 more weeks about my healthcare plan. Now, I need 2 more weeks to determine if the United States is going to bomb Iran after Donald Trump previously said that Iran is, 48 hours or a day or 2 away from getting a nuclear weapon and potentially bombing the United States and bombing other countries with nuclear weapons. So I guess it's not all that urgent, Donald, if you need 2 more weeks to make your decision. But you know where 2 weeks come from? It's because Donald Trump is too weak, right? The same way, and I don't think I'm making this up, right? The same way Donald Trump's polls have been plummeting. And so he built gigantic flag poles in the north and south lawn of the White House. Look, I've got big poles because I think that's kind of, he's telling on himself. He's giving us the hint. He's just too weak. And I know the threat that Iran poses is so significant that Donald Trump left today for his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, where he's going to hang out and vacation on the taxpayer dime. Oh, must be such an urgent thing, right? Donald Trump dramatically, like a baby, left the G7. I got to run back. Then he goes back to the United States, makes all of these threats, unconditional surrender immediately. And then on Friday, you have his chief propagandist, Caroline Levitt, said, I am going to read Donald Trump's statement. Donald Trump says that he is going to make a decision in 2 weeks. Make America great again. That's my Caroline Levitt impression. Maybe I need to work on that. But Donald Trump's also, been hard at work making some social media posts attacking Juneteenth. It's Donald Trump's statement on Juneteenth. He goes, too many non-working holidays in America. It's costing our country billions of dollars to keep all of these businesses closed. The workers don't want it either. Soon we'll end up having a holiday for every once working day of the year. It must change if we are going to make America great again! Exclamation point. By the way, it's why I refer to what Donald Trump's doing as communist style central planning. I decide you are taking too many vacations. Little girls, you get 2 pencils, you get 2 dolls, and your family shall work at the same factory all of the time, putting widgets together to make iPhones here in the United States, and generations of your family will be doing them. The Lincoln Project commented as follows, guy who has golfed 33 days this year thinks America needs to work more. And so while Donald Trump is golfing, pondering nuclear war, he sent his ICE agents to Dodger Stadium to screw with Dodger fans. As a Dodger fan in Los Angeles, Donald, big freaking mistake. Fortunately, the Dodger Stadium, Dodgers ownership, and LAPD did not let the ICE agents, who you see right here as Senator Scott Weiner says, just some creepy armed Mad Max guys trying to gain entry to Dodger Stadium, the state senator says. ICE says it wasn't them. DHS says they were Border Patrol. But honestly, who the hell knows? They give permission for any psycho to put on a ski mask, point a gun, grab people, and throw them into an unmarked vehicle. But we actually saw the ICE agents. I guess what's their distinction? It's they're bounty hunters who are deputized as ICE agents. I mean, is this what they're really going with? Here's the Dodger statement. This is from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Had to issue this statement. This morning, ICE agents came to Dodger Stadium. We have photos of them. We know they're there, and requested permission to access the parking lots. They were denied entry to the grounds by the organization. Tonight's game will be played as scheduled. And then ICE Los Angeles goes, false. We were never there. And then they respond again, ICE Los Angeles, through the Department of Homeland Security account. And then they go, this had nothing to do with the Dodgers. CBP vehicles were in the stadium parking lot very briefly, unrelated to any operation or enforcement. As our good friend Brian Tyler Cohen writes, sure, they just wanted a Dodger dog and nothing else. By the way, happy Pride Month, says California Governor Gavin Newsom to the White House, which posted a photo of the White House with a rainbow. Meanwhile, we're hearing from farmers, workers, business owners across the country about how Donald Trump's ICE raids have destroyed businesses. This from the Spokesman Review. Washington cherry growers struggle to find pickers. It talks about how the cherry harvest is kind of a well-oiled machine, about when the workers come from California and from other areas into Washington state in order to pick. In the late summer, they start their massive effort of picking. And we see here that the workers just ain't showing up. So it's killing the cherry growers. But we're seeing this across the country right now in various other industries as well. I want to give a hat tip to Brittany Mahia from the Los Angeles Times, doing some good local journalism right here. Here she talks about how the ICE agents this week have been targeting the food vendors in Los Angeles. So the people who sell those hot dogs with the bacon wrapped around them, or sell, the other food on the street, and the fruit on the street. It's kind of part of the culture and the milieu of Los Angeles. That's who ICE, they're going in there just grabbing the workers off the street who are like out there in their vendor booths. You see it right here. A day laborer, this is Brittany's reporting, a day laborer told me he immediately ran and hid in the parking lot, even though he has a social security guard. When that hit him, he decided to walk toward the entrance and said he was asking for papers, which he presented. He was not arrested, but said more than a dozen were. Among those arrested were street vendors, some who have set up for decades outside the Home Depot. People were getting into passing cards, hiding inside businesses and throughout the parking lot. By last count, advocates tallied 10 people whose names they were able to let go. They were actually taking United States citizens and non-citizens alike in these raids. One woman told me her mother got away, but her dad was arrested. He had sold orange juice along the street for 7 years. We've reached out to CBP, DHS, and ICE asking for details about how many people were arrested. They hadn't received a response yet. Elias Garcia and his brother, a U.S. citizen, was also arrested by ICE. He doesn't know why yet. We've also asked the government officials about that detention. His brother texted him at 7:59 a.m., telling him he'd been arrested. I spoke with the LA City Council member, Hugo Soto Martinez, who represents the district where this raid happened, of the food vendors. Quote, "I'm just completely outraged. Despicable doesn't even begin to describe it." Everyone's mocking Donald Trump now for the 2 weeks because he's too weak, or the taco Trump always chickens out. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, aptly puts it, Trump never tells us what the plan is on anything because there is no plan. But two things we know for sure. One, whatever happens that is good news will always be the result of a master plan, 4D chess, that we've never been told about. Whatever happens that is bad news will always be blamed on Biden. Ron Filipkowski also writes, "We went from unconditional surrender to we'll see what happens in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Israel continues to try to push Trump to send American troops to join attacks against Iran. Israel says it expects the U.S. decision on joining Iranian strikes in 24 to 48 hours. I'll share this with you as well. I had the opportunity to interview E. Jean Carroll and her incredible lawyer, Robbie Kaplan, as they broke the silence on their massive federal court victories against Donald Trump in a sexual assault case where a jury found Donald Trump civilly liable, as well as a defamation case where the verdict was in excess of $80 million. Here's what E. Jean Carroll shared with me. Play this clip.
And what this book does is we approach things in a light way, because we understand this is a man who wears apricot makeup with his hair twirled around his head like Barbara Stanwyck in Ball of Fire, who we can beat. Robbie figured that out 5 years ago. Here, I was so close. Ben, I was so close. If I went this far and reached back, I could have him by the hair. I heard almost every single thing he said. Robbie had to stand up and object to Judge Kaplan, saying, Your Honor, if we can hear him, what does the jury think? And by the way, Ben, when you looked at the jury, they were like stunned by the moaning and his groaning and his weeping and his snarling and he was very cruel to Alina Haba, Esquire, really treated her terribly. I don't know how she carried on, but we were there. We saw everything. The farting, you wanted to know about that?
I didn't say that, but
it was a silent one. It was a silent one, sort of. That's all. All right.
Oh, and here's what Donald Trump is posting moments ago as well. Too late, Jerome Powell is costing our country hundreds of billions of dollars. He's truly one of the dumbest, most destructive people in our government. So attacking the chairman of the Federal Reserve right there. But what else? What else would you expect on that? I don't even need to read the rest. You see what a pathetic fool he is. Anyway, hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. And thanks for watching. Oh, we're at 5 million subscribers. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks for watching. New Midas merch drop. Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.